So today I'm going to be discussing an aspect that is tied to the things that I have spoken about and stated in the other recordings on this channel. Just my quick disclaimer to, if this is your first time on this channel, you should probably make sure that you are prepared to hear what's being discussed and stated. If you want an example, the first video called Things You Can't Unknow basically gives the gist of things being for all of the following recordings, as well as underneath the very short video link, which is the very first video. It's just a notification of a link. However, on that video, that notification are I've made many posts, and if you want to just get a feel for some of the things that I'm discussing and stating, you might pick any one of those posts and read a paragraph or two. That should tell you right away whether you're interested, or you can tell whether you're interested in staying. And as always, please be prepared to be hearing things that you can't unknow. Moving forward, I've already done one recording that turned out again to be like an hour long. I'm going to try and shorten it up. Due to the topics I am discussing and stating on this channel, and the entities that are forcing their specific brand of attention on me and have been for over 10 years, there's quite a bit of fuckery with my channel in general. So a lot of shadow banning. They screw with the view count, the sub count, the comment section. I'm not even sure how many real people even see my channel, if it even comes up in search results, and if any of the videos come up in anyone's feed, which I doubt. I doubt any of my videos come up in anyone's feed. They do try to torture me while I'm doing the recording. Again, obviously, that is their way of trying to force me to be quiet, which I never do. I'm not quite sure why they still even bother, because that doesn't work. So moving forward, today's topic is the aspect of the astral as it relates to all the other things that all the horrific, abhorrent things that they are doing with technology. The reason I wanted to discuss the astral is because they do use the astral realm and your astral bodies to rape you. So there's an artificial frequency fence around this planet that they use in combination with clones, with artificial realities, with the AI system, to forcibly obstruct and regress universal laws, as well as forcibly regress and obstruct universal law correction and remedy. Which is why we're all still doing this abhorrent shit show. In case you were wondering. Yeah. If universal laws were truly being forced on this planet, those bitches would be the first to go. They would burn where they stand. That should give you an immediate indication that universal laws are being fucked with, and there's massive fuckery with them, and has been for many millennia. For some reason, that seems to escape most people. I just chalk that up to most people aren't thinking about these kinds of things. and so it doesn't really enter their sphere of consciousness or acknowledgement. Now, because of all of the different realms and technologies that are interconnected, I would think most beings, if not all, have an astral body. Now, if those entities in human vessels do not have a soul, I haven't really looked into that, whether they have an astral body or not. I'm not sure. But I'm not here to discuss that today or ponder that, maybe another time. What I'm discussing or bringing to the fore is the topic of your astral body. And because they use the astral realms and the different levels of the astral realms to torture, rape, and murder both those beings who they've murdered, those beings who have passed, as well as beings who are still alive on this planet. They use many of the astral realities or the lower levels of the astral to torture, rape, and murder. And that includes children and animals. In addition to everything that they're doing with technology, that is just one more horrendous, horrific thing that needs to be addressed immediately, in the fact that they are obstructing souls from finding relief, from moving on beyond this planet. They trap souls via their astral body in the astral realm when they've passed, and they continue to fucking torture, rape, and murder them. In addition to, with alive beings, they yank your astral body into the astral realm via technology and the monitoring systems that they have. Remote neural monitoring is one of them. And they do some horrific shit to you while you're sleeping. Yeah, surprise! I know, you didn't have any idea. They like to do what they call a wipe, which is exactly self-explanatory. They like to wipe your mind before you wake up, so you don't remember any of that. However, some people do have very strange dreams. They have bleed over. Sometimes if you've had dreams where you wake up very tired, even more tired than when you went to bed, that's an indication that you're being fucked with in the astral while you're sleeping. If you feel like you've been in battle all night long, or you wake up with marks and bruises and scratches on you, you've been in battle in the astral, probably trying to fight those whores off from trying to rape you. If you have dreams where you are like in large groups of people, people that you don't know, and sometimes even famous people, you probably have been yanked to one of the cloning centers in where they're holding their very sadistic, twisted fucking events, and you're being forced to participate. Yeah, not fun. So it just kind of depends on the person. It doesn't matter like what kind of job you have or what kind of lifestyle or what have you. What they are after, for the most part, now they rape a lot of things from humans via the astral body, which is what they do is they connect a clone to your astral body. Now they can do it directly, but they like to use a clone connected to your astral body because they're then wearing the clone in order to wear your stuff, in order to use your stuff. So they're very sick and twisted. You have to remember that these are dead parasitic entities. Some just happen to be in a human vessel. But they're using clones connected to your astral body to rape you. For some reason, they think that using clones absolves them of any kind of wrongdoing, which is almost as lacks almost the same amount of logic and is almost as insane as they are. So obviously that is not true at all in any sense. They are absolutely guilty of horrific, abhorrent crimes against humanity, and have been for many millennia. Now, I've been trying to do this quickly. We're already at 10 minutes. So my point in wanting to discuss this aspect is for true benevolent beings, for if there's any listening even, again, because of what they do to my channel, I'm not even sure there are true benevolent beings in human vessels even hearing any of the recordings that I've made, because there's so much fuckery with my channel. I'm doing this as a just in case. So in mentioning that, I'm wanting to state that it is very important to try and exercise to see if you are being fucked with. So basically, this is an example. This is a way for you to immediately find out whether you're being currently fucked with via your astral body and via clone. So if you want to do this, basically you would be taking 5 minutes out of your day, sitting down in a comfortable position, clear out all background noise and distraction. What you'll want to do is I'm sorry, we've got somebody's butthole ego going by. Okay. So just basically you want to be very focused and focus your intention. And what you're wanting to do is to be calling back to your being. And when I say calling back, you can be taking back, you can be yanking back, you can be pulling back, whatever word, adjective that you're going to use for that day. Make sure that your intention and the emotion of that intention matches whatever word that you're going to use. Pulling, yanking, taking back. Now, you're taking back everything that you think that might have been raped from you. So, as an example, a being who is wanting to take back all of their frequencies, vibrations, lights, sounds, energies, and resonances, all of their life force energy, heart energies, and healing energies and frequencies, as well as their neurological signal and energetic signature, including their astral body, will body, and emotional body energies and frequencies, back to within their physical being in the true, authentic, healed, benevolent state. I'll put the period at the end there. In their true, authentic, organic, healed, benevolent state. Devoid of all the malevolence that raped you, or that raped that being, and devoid of all harm to you. So, with intent and focus and emotion, in sitting quietly, in taking back or pulling back, whatever you're going to do, all of your stuff, all of your energy, consciousness, and all of your frequencies and vibrations. When doing this is where the experiment gets interesting. So you've taken it back to you, and you're sitting there quietly. What you're doing is that person would be trying to, in some fashion, some sense, feel themselves, feel their energy coming back to them, right? That person is trying to envision, or feel this some kind of an energetic sensory perception of their energies in frequencies, and their heart energies and life force energies returning to them from everywhere in existence, which is, now here's the thing, you might want to make a list of all the places you're going to be calling it back from, because this is one of the important parts. So that person would be calling it back from all frequency fences, all astral realms, all artificial realities, I say all AI systems? All AI systems, all malevolence in any form, and all back from all clones. Back from all magic, and I would say back from all forced, undisclosed magic, and back from all forced psychic cords. Back from all forced psychics and remote viewers. That would be the short list. Okay? Make sure that you are definitely, though, including the all astral realms, all artificial realities within the AI system, the totality of the AI system, as well as all frequency fences and all clones. Those ones you're going to make sure you always want in your list. Now, here's the thing. As you're sitting quietly and let's say you've just pulled all your stuff back, and you're sitting there quietly trying to feel all of your energies and frequencies and life force and healing energies returning to you. Okay? It is in that moment that you are specifically looking for something. It is the emotion that you're experiencing while you are trying to feel your stuff come back to you. Any emotion outside of you feeling better, you feeling more energized, you actually feel your stuff returning to you, and you feel exuberant and exhilarated and joyful and happy. Okay, anything outside of that, any kind of forced fear, any kind of emotion, like an emotion, like when a 2-year-old gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar, right? They get caught doing something they're not supposed to do, right? Okay, sometimes that emotion is forced on individuals who are trying to call back or take back all their own stuff. So if you're feeling that emotion, if you start to feel fear of any kind, your own stuff doesn't make you fearful. Shouldn't make you fearful. Pulling back all your energies and frequencies and healing energies and life force, nothing about you should be fearful. So if you're experiencing that kind of an emotion, it is forced. It is not you. It is basically what's happening is because of what they're doing, they like to use clones in the AI system to forcibly rape things from humans in order to use those things. Most often without your knowledge and without your consent, obviously. So the point that I'm trying to make, anything outside of you feeling exuberant and joyful and more energized with calling back all pieces of you, parts of you, back from everywhere in the universe and back from all those places that I mentioned. Anything outside of that means that you have entities who are using clones that are attached to your astral body by force without your knowledge, and you've got some fucking parasitic cunt trying to use your stuff, trying to wear your stuff, trying to rape you of your will, energies and frequencies, and trying to run around manifesting. That's one of their favorite ones, is to try and rape will energy and will frequencies from you via a clone forcibly attached to your astral body. And they're trying to rape the will energy and frequencies so they can run around and manifesting things. And what's worse is your will frequency and your will energy, just like the rest of you, has your energetic signature on it. And it has your neurological signal on it. So when they go around forcibly raping and stealing and then using your stuff, if they're using your will, energy, and frequencies to murder a child, to sacrifice a child, guess whose energetic signature is on it? Guess whose neurological signal is fucking on it? That's how they've been getting humanity to take the rap in every fucking prior civilization on the planet. Getting humans, forcing humans to take responsibility for things they did not do. So if you are totally unaware of what they've been doing with technology, okay, it's time that you did become aware. Not that you want to, not that like you don't have a gazillion other fucking things that you got to worry about in this lifetime. What I'm saying to you is that we're at a very crucial time. They're trying to do a lot of harvesting, these parasitic entities, okay? And what they do is they like to go around raping things from humans that have the true human's energetic signature and neurological signal on them. They try to use that energy to then do horrific shit, and it's got your stuff on it. It has your name on it. And you didn't do that stuff. You sure didn't. But because it's got that, your will energy and your will frequency has your neurological signal and energetic signature on it. When they go, let's say they are using it to horrifically torture and rape and murder a child, they're wearing these things like jackets. They're wearing frequencies and they're wearing vibrations that they have raped from humans that are uploaded to the AI system that are stored, and then they try and wear those. I know that might be hard to wrap your brain around, but that is what they are doing with the technology. They are not going to send you a memo about it. They're not going to ask you your consent. They're insane entities. They're parasites. They do it by force. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm letting you know that this is how they've gotten every prior civilization to take the rap for shit that they didn't fucking do. And this is also their way of trying to fill the civilization full of fear. So if you're feeling a whole bunch of fear that you don't know where it came from, what it is entities stealing your stuff and doing horrific shit with it. And then it still has your energetic signature on it. And so it's still in some way, on some level, attached to you. So whatever they did, wearing your frequencies and your energies, you're still alive, right? So it's obviously, I'm sorry, that was so redundant. So as you continue to live and breathe, that energy and frequency is still a part of your being. So they'll rape the frequency, try and use it, wear it and use it, but you still have it. So what happens is a kind of they try and transfer, right? So if they do some very horrific shit with your stuff, and all of a sudden you start feeling fear, extreme fear, and you don't know why, that's why. It's because they're raping frequencies and energies. They're doing horrific shit with those while wearing those, while using those, while wearing that. It's called I don't know what it's called, but I call it a frequency jacket, right? I call it a frequency jacket that they rape those frequencies and vibrations, they upload them to the AI system, and then they somehow fucking wear them. And that's what they're doing, is they're trying to, what it ultimately, or not ultimately, but what they're trying to do is force their violations of universal laws onto the collective. And that is one of the ways that they try to do that. So when you start feeling fear and you don't know where it comes from, universal laws at some point, like, what happens is, if you are exposed to universal laws, true universal laws, and you feel fear, regardless of whether you know what that fear is from, the point is they've done that stuff with your energetic signature and your neurological signal. It is attached to you. It is attached to you. So if they do some horrific shit with it, and then all of a sudden you start feeling fear that you don't know where it came from, It's because you can feel on some level that they've done some fucked up shit with your frequencies and your energies. And you're feeling that fear. So you know what? I'll have to say, if you were ever exposed to universal laws, even though you don't know where that fear comes from, the fact that you're feeling fear and the fact that they've done some very horrific shit that's got your energetic signature and your neurological signal attached to it, guess who gets nailed? Right? Can you see? Can you see where I'm going with that? When universal laws, if you were to truly be exposed to universal laws, you feeling that fear and the fact that that those atrocities are on your energetic signature and your neurological signal, because those are connected to your will frequency and your will energy that was raped from you and that was used to do some very horrific shit, you're the one that gets nailed. Because universal laws is going by whose energetic signature is it and whose neurological signal is it. So you need to be, as much as you don't want to deal with any of this stuff, because we're at such a crucial time and they're trying to get the whole entire collective to take responsibility for their violations of universal laws, you're kind of out of time. You need to be dealing with some shit, and you need to be making sure that they're not doing that. You need to be aware and need to be checking all of your energies and frequencies and vibrations and making sure that if you start feeling fear, you better find out why. You better find out why right away. Trace it back to the originating source. If the originating source is not you, if you realize that you've got fucking entities that have raped your frequencies and vibrations and are doing and trying to put their horrific shit onto you, you got to be returning any and all violations of universal laws back to their originating sources that raped your energies and frequencies against the revocation of your consent, and moving those directly to universal laws yourself, because they've hijacked the frequency, or they've hijacked universal laws. That's one of the reasons why they hijacked universal laws. And the universal laws have been hijacked for a very long time, a few millennia, several maybe. But what they're doing is they're trying to put their violations of universal laws onto the collective, get collective to take responsibility for all their shit. So guess what happens? You don't get to evolve because you haven't healed any of that stuff. Now, it's not your stuff, and so it's not your stuff to heal. But universal laws doesn't know that. Universal laws is not a being. It's a force. It's the moderator, the regulator. It goes based on frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance, right? So it does help that you're going to come back at that like, I had no idea about any of that. I didn't know about it. That wasn't my doing. I didn't do those things with my vessel and my mind, in my heart. There is that, yes. But initially, if you're experiencing, and that's just an example, if you're experiencing some kind of a fear that you don't know where it fucking came from, you better figure out why. You better figure out why real fucking quick. It means there are parasitic entities raping your stuff and going around trying to do horrific shit with your name, with your energetic signature, with your neurological signal attached to it. That's how these parasites have been sustaining their stay in manifested existence for this fucking long. Do you see? Can you follow the line of logic there of what they've been doing? Of how we're still doing this fucking shit show? And how they've gotten the collective in every prior civilization to take on their nasty? In addition to them pretty much always trying to force fear onto the collective via frequency weaponry, via the cell towers, via satellites, via whatever method that they can try and find. You know why? Because they're trying to keep humanity as a food source. They're trying to keep humanity from evolving, and they're trying to keep humanity as food. So I needed to bring that to the attention of anyone, any true benevolent being listening. Okay, that's just one, and that's just one of the absolutely abhorrent, and that's an understatement, absolutely abhorrent things that they are doing with the technology, basically it's the AI system connected to the frequency fence around this planet, connected to the astral realms, connected to your astral body, and clones, connected to clones. Okay. That's how the reptilians have been extending their stay. When, if they were truly exposed to universal laws, they would burn where they stand. That's how we know that universal laws is being fucked with, being hijacked. Okay, it's called logic. Everybody needs to, now, most people don't think about, they don't think about any of that existential stuff. They don't think about universe stuff because of what's been forced on me, the experiences that have been forced on me, and the things that I have been forced to see and witness. There are things that I have knowledge of that most don't. And I'm not saying that out of any kind of an egoic sense, because those things are horrific. I would hope nobody else would be forced to see those things. But I have been made forcibly privy to how some things are done, and to what things are done, and how those things are done. Okay, that's where I'm coming out of. I'm trying to explain how it is that I come to those things. So I think it's important if you do the exercise. Okay, sit quietly, take a few minutes out of your day, take a few deep breaths, take all of your stuff back, pull or yank or whatever you're going to do, pull all of your stuff back. If you start to feel resistance in if you start to feel any other emotion outside of what I said, your life force coming back to you and you feeling exuberant, joyful, and energized, happy, that you have more of the totality of your being with you, right? If you're feeling anything outside of that, there's fuckery going on. You've got entities trying to either force fear on you or force some kind of a nasty emotion to keep you from taking back your stuff, to keep you from realizing what they've been doing with your stuff, to keep you from clearing your own stuff, clearing their violations of universal laws from your stuff. All those violations of universal laws were not done with your heart, with your mind, with your vessel, and need to be returned. They're being forced onto your frequencies and energies that have been forcibly raped from you against the revocation of your consent and without your knowledge. And those violations of universal laws now need to be returned to the entities that have raped your frequencies. So those are some important things to know. And people do need to be aware of that. I know most don't want to. Most either don't care or don't have the time. I realize that. I do. But here's the thing. It becomes super uber duper important later on. It sure does. So if you can, try the exercise. You will know as soon as you go to call your stuff back in those following moments if there's fuckery or not. And you might even do that exercise if you find the first time you don't feel any fuckery. Make sure you try it again like later on, just a double check, right? You always want to make sure that you have all of your stuff with you. Okay, so please try the exercise. That way, if there is fuckery, you can clear it and get it off of you and get those violations of universal laws returned to the originating sources, the ones who have been raping your frequencies and energies against the revocation of your consent and without your knowledge via technology and via clone. Now, the other thing is, another thing is clones, right? Because they're using clones. Basically, they're doing this to everybody because they're trying to harvest life force, along with other things. I need to take a drink really quick. Okay, with the clones, since they also don't send out the public a memo that they're forcibly using clones, that are actually they're forcibly attaching clones to everybody in order to harvest life force energy, to basically rape life force energy from them, along with other things. They don't send you a memo. They don't send you an email. They don't give you a call. They don't let you know. It's all done with force and without your consent or knowledge. Do you want clones attached to you? Right? Did you agree to that? Did you consent to that? I don't know that the clones are always going to be exact replicas of you, meaning they just might make a generic clone and then attach it to you, right? I mean, from my understanding, there's a few different ways that they do the whole clone thing. I'm not going to get into that here, but what I am saying is you're going to have to figure out, if you do find that there's fuckery, do you want clones attached to you? Do you want clones of you? And if you don't, you need to be refusing consent for that. It's just one more fucking thing that you got to be bothered with, that you have to refuse consent for. And basically, what could be done is that you refuse consent for any and all clones to be made of you and or from you, and that you refuse consent for any clones to be forcibly connected to any part of your being and any part of your astral body, including via the astral realm and artificial realities, and that you need to be moving those clones either to entropy, devoid of anything that's been raped from you, to be put into entropy, devoid of all frequency, vibration, and life force. Or you can try moving the clones devoid of anything that's been raped from you, devoid of the, you're going to move the clone to universal laws, devoid of the totality of your being, so it can be dissolved, as that was created, again, without your knowledge and without your consent. And then be moving that violation of universal law, the entity that made the clone by force and didn't tell you, that the malevolent intent of that entity needs to be moved directly to universal laws. Now, I realize that that's probably going to be somewhat in-depth or somewhat complicated. I don't want to say complicated because it's not that complicated, but it might be a little bit more complex than most people want to get into, right? So you can just, you'll have to do something with the clone if you don't want the clone, right? I mean, you have to either dissolve it yourself, devoid of the totality of your being. That's what I do. I just dissolve the clone. I'm in a place where I'm doing things on my own, right? I don't need a daddy or a mommy telling me or showing me how to, well, sometimes it would be nice to, it would have been nice for this planet to have a different learning process than what's current here, which is via torture, rape, and murder. But what I'm saying is, I do things standing in my full authority and my full power as a being of this universe. I am an adult in this universe. Okay, so I am doing what it is that I need to do in this universe. I go about, I'm still having to deal with a bunch of fucking parasites trying to murder me, but I am my own being, and I see to my business, right? I go about my business in this universe as I need to, as I see fit, as my conscious dictates. So, I'm just saying, I take it upon myself to just dissolve the clone. I would suggest to you that you also get to a point where you are standing in your full power and your full authority, and you're making those adult decisions for yourself on your own, right? That's we need to be moving into our adulthood in this universe, right? And taking care of some shit. Because clearly there's a bunch of fucking parasites that think they're mommy and daddy, right? And they are terrible fucking crackhead parents. Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you don't want parasites telling you your business and being all up in your shit and being all up in your business and trying to force shit on you that's not yours, you're going to have to, regulate. You're going to have to fucking stand up and pull up your big boy pants and your big girl pants and stand in your full authority, and you're gonna have to put those bitches where they go, in entropy, or send them directly to universal laws, because they burn on contact. I'm just saying. I've done it once or twice. They have regression technologies, and they've also cloned their own. So even if I kill one, they've got clones of that one, and they just keep throwing it at me. So it's not really the actual one. I've killed a lot of clones. I sure have. But what I'm saying is, we need to be coming into standing in our adulthood in this universe, and we need to be taking care of some business, because there's a bunch of parasites running around that shouldn't be, raping everybody of their stuff. So it's up to us. I haven't seen any true benevolent larger force yet intervene. Now maybe one will at some point. I don't know, but I can't sit around and file my nails and wait for a benevolent source to get done dicking around or come out of MIA or back from sabbatical or wherever and deal with some shit. I got to deal with some shit right now, because what's being forced on me is right now. Right? Like, I got to deal with some shit being forced on me against the revocation of my consent. So I've been forced to handle some shit, right? So that's what I'm saying, is there's a bunch of parasitic entities. They're dead because, they're parasites. They're dead, and they're running around manifested creation, trying to feed off the living, vibrating beings here. You can't have that. The very fact that they're a parasite tells you, logically, that they should not be in manifested creation. They don't belong here. They're in the wrong place. You cannot have parasites with alive, vibrating beings, simply for the sheer fact that they're a parasite. Parasites are dead. So they must be moved to entropy. That's where the non-vibrating dead things go. Okay, that's where the dead non-vibrating things go. Not running around manifested creation, feeding off the living. It's not their stuff. They shouldn't be raping it. They shouldn't be running amok in this universe with frequency weaponry and technology. They shouldn't be, for fuck's sake, they shouldn't be hijacking universal laws, and they shouldn't be obstructing and regressing universal law correction and remedy for many millennia now, right? There's some fucked up shit in this universe. There's some very, very wrong shit going on in this universe. It needs to be addressed. Most humans aren't seeing it. And I can see why, is because most people are kept very, 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 very busy, living from paycheck to paycheck. But what I'm saying is we shouldn't have parasites in any universe running around with frequency weaponry, hacking into beings via frequency weaponry, and then using technology to forcibly obstruct and regress universal laws and universal law correction and remedy, right? That should not be going on in any fucking universe at all, period. So that should tell you in and of itself that there's some very, 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 very wrong things going on in this universe that need to be fucking addressed immediately. And apparently, there really isn't too many beings adulting in the universe. They all seem like parasites to me. I haven't seen any, personally, in all this time on this planet, in this lifetime, I have not come across one truly benevolent being not in a physical body. I have not seen them. I have not come across one. The only ones I've come across are fucking parasites. And I've already stated in a couple of my other recordings that I have been lately coming to a consistent conclusion that the higher dimensions, or at least some of them, have been already compromised and are now populated with parasitic entities. And how they're staying in those higher dimensions is all your stuff, is what they've been raping from humanity. All the high vibrations and frequencies, in addition to forcing those through the fence to deceive universal laws, they're actually wearing them and using them to fucking stay or reside or sustain their stay in higher dimensions. Or at the very least, the higher dimensions of the astral. And then passing themselves off as beings of light when they are fucking not beings of light. They're running around with frequency jackets of frequencies that have been raped from true benevolent beings here embodied in human vessels. So, now I can't say that that's 100% true, right? But I have been coming to that consistent conclusion for about a month now. I've been trying to look at it in other ways and look at things in different ways of perceiving to maybe I'm trying to find the truth. I'm trying to get to the truth of it. But I still keep ending up at that conclusion based on what I've seen and the experiences and what these bitches are doing and how they're getting away with it. And the fact that there's been no true benevolent intervention for several millennia, right? So, and I'm not going to get into all that because I got into all that in other recordings. But what I'm saying is now is a good time to please always be checking, be calling back all of your own stuff, every piece, part, and fragment of you it's good to do that just on a daily basis. Sometimes we leave pieces of ourselves, sometimes in dream time or in certain physical locations if there was an incident, right? It's always good to be calling back all of your own stuff. So I'm just saying that as you go to do that, do the exercise and pay attention to the following moments. Just like I said, you'll have to rewind if you want to go listen to that again. I'm going to try and get this video wrapped up. But if you're confused, and this is the first one on my channel that you're listening to, and if you've stayed for this long, you really might want to check out the one that's called Things You Can't Unknow, and then maybe the last couple of recordings that I've done, okay, to get you up to speed. So watch yourselves, watch your ass, always cover your ass, always. And remember that you're dealing with a parasitic infection on planet and off. And remember that they're using technology that they have no business using. They shouldn't even be in manifested creation, let alone having access to that kind of technology and doing the things that they are doing. Right? We shouldn't, number one, we should not still be doing this shit show, this abhorrent nightmare of a fucking shit show. And if universal laws were truly being enforced on this planet, they would have burned up a long time ago. They wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be malevolence in this universe. Okay? So I'm just saying, watch your back, watch your six. And then I think for now, I'll kind of leave that there and wrap up the video. Just make sure that you're doing your due diligence. Make sure that your awareness is on point, that your intuition is on point, and that you're always using your critical thinking skills, your logic, your extrapolation skills, your deduction skills, and all of that. Make sure if you are working with those entities, any of the supposed benevolent groups that you've heard that are channeling all their stuff, right, to some of the individuals here on this planet. You've heard of those groups. I'm not going to name them, but you've heard of them, right? They pick a channeler, and then that channel comes forward with channeled messages from that group about love and light and this and that and the other thing, but they conveniently forget to mention all of this other horrific shit going on, right? Yeah, I know. So I'm just saying, if you are working with any of those groups, there's a whole post. And actually, I think I did a recording on it too. It's called Conclusions and then Questions. A whole list of questions to be asking those beings is in quotes, a whole list of questions to be asking them, okay? Along with things that you're looking for as far as the answers go, how to go about asking those questions. You might take a listen to that recording if you're interested, okay? So for now, I'll wrap it up. Take care of you and take care of the ones that you love, and just do the best that you can, and always have trust and faith in yourself, believe in yourself, and always stand in your power and stand in your authority. All right, until next time.